Hi, welcome to my channel, Nutrition Simplified. My name is Annalise, and I just wanted to share a quick story about my health journey so you can kind of better get to know me before you listen to everything I'm going to share in short videos and bigger videos. I just feel like having a little bit of some personalization helps so that you can feel like you can really relate with somebody. So that's why I'm making this video today, just to talk to you about how I got to where I'm at now, why I decided to make the switch to eating 100% organic, switching to different dairy products, different sugar products, flour products, etc. So with that said, a little backstory. Growing up, my mom, my dad fed us really well, I think, and I'm really grateful to my parents for that. They gave us a really good foundation. I always remember my dad being the one that was really talking heavily to us about sugar all the time, and why we couldn't have cereal and why we couldn't have this, why we couldn't have that soda except on our birthdays, and just having these very distinct memories of health conversations with him, and also with my grandfather, my dad's father, um, throughout my adolescence, having really detailed conversations about health with my papa. And I give my papa a lot of the credit because that's where I've gained a lot of this knowledge I'm sharing with you from. I gained it from him. I gained it from my dad as a in my foundational years as a kid, but very much so in my adulthood, my adolescence, from my papa. So I love them for that. But anyway, I'm making some food right now, so I'm just gonna move you along with me. Be intimate and myself and honest and raw. These videos that I make are not gonna sit here and be beautified and all that. I'm just being myself. So that's how I grew up. Literally, birthdays were, when we had treats like cake and ice cream and soda, multiple sodas if we wanted. That's how I remember it. Maybe my mom remembers it differently, but I remember it being that way. Holidays, we did have, like Easter, a special time of year, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. We did have treats too. So I shouldn't just say it was our birthday. We did have treats on those days. So that's how I grew up. My parents, when they had divorced, I remember me and my sisters eating things that we had never eaten before at no fault of anybody's. Um, just trying to navigate life, trying to navigate, okay, who's going to cook now? Mom has to work. And I think that's really when my health journey personally took a huge decline, because I was eating Pop Tarts and eating out. I was working a job at Blackbird Diner, eating fast food way more than I ever did growing up. And being introduced to like sugars that I wasn't really allowed to have on a daily basis through friends, and just gorging myself, if you will, and all of these things I didn't consume, and my body taking, a huge toll, in my opinion. My menstrual cycles were incredibly painful from the first time I had them growing up. And now looking back, even though you may think, oh, we thought you said you ate healthy. Now looking back, I know the source as to why. And I do strongly believe that it was the dairy that we did have in our diet, because I did grow up on dairy, processed dairy. I did. Um, and anyway, with that said, yeah, I took a huge decline in my health around age 19. I had perfect skin until about age 19, and I just had acne throughout my cheeks, my jawline. It was really a rough time for me. And it's by the grace of God that my skin has really, really healed, because it was rough. It was a rough, very rough emotional period for me. Lots of scarring, um, lots of, hiding behind my makeup. It was really hard. And my periods were horrible. Like, the medicine I was taking wasn't working anymore. Um, in my opinion, now that I'm a mother, childbirth, even though it hurts because I had my son without an epidural, and that was incredibly painful. Um, I think it's better than a period, because my periods were just so painful, where medicine didn't even work to mask the pain. And it's not like contractions where you get a break. It was just consistent pain. So it was hard for me. And that's when I made a decision after watching something on Dr. Oz. This was about, yeah, this was more than this was like 10 years ago. Um, this woman named Alyssa Vitti, a hormonal expert, came on, talked about period health, menstrual health in women, what to cut out of your diet, meaning gluten, sugar, dairy, caffeine, I think maybe even chocolate. And anyway, I was serious. I wanted to get my health back to a place where I was feeling really good again and my skin was healing. So this took some time. I'd go on the plan for a month, not see a difference, go on the plan for a few months, see some little bit of a difference. And I think because I put so much crap in my body, to be honest with you, so much junk, I needed a heavy detox. I needed a detox that was going to take me a minute, not just a month or 15 days, but like 3 months to really like reset things, get things moving again, get inflammation out of my body. And so here I am, move forward to where I am now. I was an almond drinker for like 10 years or so. I cut out dairy hardcore, didn't have milk, didn't have cheese, didn't have yogurt. I did have those things once in a blue moon at a party if I was invited to somebody's house and they made something with dairy in it. But I suffered for it. Every time I had it, I suffered for it bad in my stomach or just feeling incredibly sick. In my menstrual cycles, like I was just like, I shouldn't have had it. I knew I shouldn't have had it. Like, I was so mad because I knew that I had found something that was helping my body heal. And because of those social pressures and people not understanding, why did you make this switch? It's weird. Like, why are you eating this way? Wanting to feel like I'm fitting in, still wanting not to be rude and accept a piece of cake or accept whatever I'm being served. It's not worth it when you find something that works for you. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing food with you. I love food, and food doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be, flavorless. Eating healthy is delicious, but it takes a massive amount of your commitment to changing your health. So now, how did I get to the place where I'm at now? I'm not drinking almond milk after I have for like 10 years. I learned about different things. I learned about pesticides and glyphosate and almonds and how it's not really that nutritional if it's not organic almonds. And then, friends of mine telling me about raw dairy, and I'm like, nope, not for me. Like, I'm scared. I don't want to try it. No, not consistently. I may have it here and there, but nope. And finally, I just was like, you know what? Let's just try it. I read about it. I educated myself on it thoroughly, and I trust this resource that I read. Sometimes you have to hear it that way from somebody that you don't know, unfortunately. It's just the way that works. Sometimes we listen to sources that are not intimate sources, like friendships or our mother or our father, whoever. We listen to experts, right? I don't know why I did that. That didn't make any sense. But we listen to the experts, right, on it. And so I did. And I decided that, I asked my husband, I want to really incorporate this in our diet. Can we do this? This is ABC and D, why it's good for us, why it's good for the kids. Can we do it? And he was on board, praise God. So we've been having raw dairy, meaning raw cheese, raw milk. Haven't done raw butter. I don't respond badly to butter, I notice, which is really awesome, really interesting. Don't know why. I just respond good to it. I know that, vat pasteurized butter is probably a better choice, if not grass-fed. But anyway, with all that said, yeah, vat pasteurized dairy products and raw dairy products is what we're eating, besides the grass-fed butter that's just regularly pasteurized. So now we're drinking that. We're not almond milk drinkers anymore. When it comes to the sugar, I've been pretty adamant about that. I have had it at parties and social events, but in our household, I haven't had the white refined sugar, haven't had the white refined flours that have been stripped of its nutritional value, hybridized. I haven't had coffee regularly at all in a very long time. Occasionally, because I crave it, but not in a while. Haven't had, what did I talk about? Sugar, dairy, gluten. Oh, chocolate. I have had that for sure. I've had that. I've just had a certain type of chocolate that's sweetened with stevia. So looking at the ingredients, I've learned a lot about ingredients, learned how to decode labels on products, learned mainly through the Yuka app for additives. That's a huge one. I've learned a lot through the course of time. This has not come to me in like one sitting. This has taken many years of my grandfather, my Papa Bill pouring into me, my dad as a child, and me researching independently on my own as I've aged through different sources. And I can tell you that I truly feel really, really, really good. I feel good mentally. Um, I still struggle, with my own anxieties at times and stress. But I know for a fact if I introduced all that stuff back into my diet, that stress and those anxieties would be even worse. I feel better with my menstrual cycles. They don't hurt. Um, and I had just an episode recently where I told a friend of mine I have to stop eating bread because I was all into making homemade bread and I was using flours I don't typically use, like all-purpose flours that are white flours that aren't ancient grains. And I told her, I said, I feel like my period's coming back because I'm postpartum and the cramps were painful and that's not normal for me because I changed my diet. Except now I'm introducing these things back into my diet that I know are not beneficial to us. And so it just goes to show me personally that cutting all those things out and replacing them with better, healthier, nutrient dense foods that are the same category, meaning dairy and cheese and, grains like flours and sugars. I'm having them, but a different standard, I guess, if you will. I'm holding it to a different standard, meaning I'm having them but in its most raw form, in its most natural state, not its stripped state, like white flour, white sugar, bleached flour, bread flours, cane sugar, high fructose corn syrup, things like that, additives. I'm not having that. And if we did go out to eat, I'm probably having them in that aspect for sure. But we don't eat out very often at all anymore, which I'm really happy about. And I don't really miss it, which is interesting. So I share all that to say this has taken time. So if you hear anything about anything on this video or these videos I'm going to share, don't think I'm just splatting out information. This is information that I've literally learned through the course of time, and it's tried and true and it works. And if you want to be healthy, you want your kids to be healthy, you care about your health, you can do this. Now, if you don't care that much about your health, then this channel isn't for you. But if you genuinely care and this is a value that you hold dear and close to your heart, you can do this. This can work for you. You don't have to be rich because we're not rich. We're not. And we're able to do this. We do have to do lots of different tweaks and things to make our food spread, to be mindful of how much income we have so we can buy these products that are really good for our family. And I'll share that with you. I'll share that with you so it can help you, okay? But if you care about your health, you can do this. You just have to have the desire to care. That's all you have to have. And you can sit here looking 10 years later, looking back in hindsight, thinking, I'm so glad I made that choice. I'm so glad I feel more mentally clear. I'm so glad that my body feels better, that I don't have inflammation flooding throughout my body anymore. I'm so glad my allergies are better. I'm so glad my menstrual cycles are better. I'm so glad I just did this and I cared. So with that said, let's get into getting our health back to where it should be. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to feel good, because at the end of the day, you're the one falling asleep at night with your body, and I'm the one falling asleep at the end of the night with my body. And we owe it to ourselves to feel good. Our bodies do so much for us to keep us well and to we try to get these pollutants out of our bodies. So let's bless our bodies. Let's bless our kids. Let's bless our families. Let's bless our households with good, nutritious food. That's going to be good for us. All right. Bye. I'll see you later. I'm pumped, and I hope you're pumped too.